In a world where games are praised for their difficulty and rage games are a massively popular genre for streamers, how do you be kind? I've decided to look at this through the lens of two different puzzle games, Helltaker and Baba Is You. The basics are quite similar. You move left, right, up or down, and in Helltaker you kick the shit out of everything. In Baba Is You, you push around words to make rules to interact with the level and complete puzzles. If you disturb the Baba Is You rule, you fucking die. Luckily, there's an undo button. There isn't one in Helltaker. If you mess up, then fuck you. Start the level over. That's my thing with Helltaker. It doesn't feel like it was made with the player experience in mind. The guy literally just made the game so he could get adult-oriented materials of demon girls in suits. Admittedly, I'd have less of an issue with it if he actually made a good game, or if he just made a dating sim about a human man romancing demon girls. But no, the women are a prize for the man to get, and I hate it. Compare and contrast with Baba Is You. There's less story because it doesn't need it. You're just a little... What the fuck is Baba? Pushing things around to win the level. In every game, literally every game ever, you have a set of tools with which to solve a problem. To provide an example, in Honkai Star Rail you have party members with their own playstyle, an element to break the enemy's toughness gauge, to stun them, and eventually defeat them in battle. In all these Soulsborns that I haven't played because I'm a fake gamer, you have an arsenal of weapons to choose from to suit your personal playstyle and beat these really hard boss fights. In Undertale, you can buy items to help you on your way, but if you're super fucking good at Toho, you don't need those. I would call these having an adequate tool set. Like, you have everything you need to complete what you're doing. In these examples, you know how to refine these tools, either by improving your numbers or simply through practice. I know Honk Train at least gives you at least the knowledge of how to get the items your characters need to level up. And you can also fight through the grinding, which is a fucking godsend. And Undertale, for all my mild complaints, doesn't set you back super far if you mess up. Conversely, have you ever played through a game and thought, I wish this had X mechanic, or like, this would be better if it had this mechanic? In Helltaker, as I mentioned, there isn't an undo button. In this type of game, you need to experiment to find the right solution, but if you don't do it right, you have to do everything over again. Also, the puzzles are so dumb. You can see in the B-roll I recorded for my video and game mechanics, I get frustrated and just start kicking the shit out of those dumb rocks. Contrast this with Baba Is You. It starts off fairly simple and gets real fucking brain-bendy, but you have everything you need to do what you need to do on a basic level. You're not punished for experimenting. In fact, it's encouraged. You can get out of fuck-ups quite readily. I don't think it has the perfect difficulty curve either, but you technically have every tool you could conceivably need. But I suppose that's what happens when you compare a game lovingly crafted with care to a vehicle made to outsource naked lady art of the creator's OCs. Am I salty? Yes, I am. Indeed, I've complained a lot about Helltaker. It wasn't made for me because, well, I respect women and think with more than just my non-existent boner. I figured that I might as well flex my games design degree that I don't talk about very often and try making my own mechanical concept for Helltaker. You know, for fun. I would make it a dating sim / Zelda-like dungeon crawler. You have portions where you're fighting through hell to reach these various women, who you then fight as a boss fight. Then when you've defeated these women in hand-to-hand combat, they decide they're into you and they join you and they could give you like powers or different weapons and stuff. Then you'd have rest stages where you buy items and have conversations with your women to gain affection with them and have fun characterization in cutscenes and stuff. Rinse and repeat till the last boss. Then with the ending, you either end up with one or all of the women. That way you can still have puzzles and stuff and characters interacting, which I think the developer clearly enjoys because he made a whole webcomic on his Twitter, and have your weird horny cake and eat it too. But I care more about the player experience than this guy who just wants materials to perform self-befriending activities too. Euphemisms are fun. Also, I've pretty much only praised Baba Is You, but there is something I would change. I'd make the difficulty curve into an intermediate ski slope rather than a professional slope. But that's just me. I'd make the slope less angular, because it gets hard pretty much immediately. But that's just me. The most skiing I've ever done was in Ski Free or SSX for the PS2 demo disc. God, who fucking remembers demo discs? Oh, the story. Helltaker is a sexist game about a horny guy gathering a harem. The whole premise is real gross. I remember briefly owning the art book and asking for a refund. I just remember the developer wanting to make a joke about Cerberus being ambiguously below the age of consent and thinking, that was gross. Also, there was a recipe for Nutella crepes, but like, bitch, I'm European. I have family in France. My mother's been making Nutella crepes for years. If you're going to sell a recipe, make it less basic. The script calls for me to ad-lib some of my terrible French. For the sillies. Okay, Tu es une pièce de merde. Je suis une pomme de terre. Ma cheval est marron. Ta cheval est bleu. Baba Is You has a rich, complex story and about God, I can't even say it. It doesn't have a story. You're a little guy who solves puzzles. So, in summary, as puzzle games go, Baba Is You is a lot more user-friendly than Helltaker, which is a game that's an excuse for the creator to have self-befriending materials made of his OCs. There's way better puzzle games out there. I'd also like to have a look at more puzzle games if anyone has any recommendations. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of me yapping. Also tell your friends. Word of mouth is a good way to support any of your favorite creators, not just me. Also reminder, I have a Patreon. I might even use it sometime, who knows. I also have a Twitch that I have every intention of streaming to more when real life isn't kicking my butt. I also have a donathon at the end of November. That should be super fun if you want to come join me. Yay. My throat's dying. I'm recovering from a cold.